In this video, I am going to discuss one of the most important apps on a Mac, and that app is called Finder. You will always be able to find the Finder app at the leftmost part of the dock, and I'm currently circling the app with my actual mouse. I'm going to go ahead and click on the icon to open up the Finder app. And Finder, like every other app on a Mac, has its own menu. If I click on the word Finder, I can change preferences according to Finder, and I can do a variety of other things within Finder by using this menu. And now if we look at the Finder window, you'll notice that on the left side there is a sidebar, which gives us things such as favorites, such as Dropbox, all my files, AirDrop, applications, which I currently have selected, desktop, download, and a variety of other things. You'll also notice devices. So for instance, if I had a flash drive in my Mac, it would show up in the devices area. If you have any shared computers, such as my server, it would appear in this area. And something new to Mavericks is the ability to tag certain files. This makes it a little bit easier to find files when you're looking for them. So if I was to go ahead and click on movies in my sidebar, you'll notice that the right side of the window changes. If I go back to applications again, it changes once again. And right now you can see on the right side of my screen, I can see icons. But let's say I wanted to change the view to view these applications for this example in a little bit different way. Well, your view options are in this area right here, which I'm circling my mouse. Right now the one that's selected is the icon view. If I click on the button directly to the right of the icon view, I will see that my applications in this case are now being listed in order. Again, if I change the views again, as it says, this button shows items as icons in a list in columns or with cover flow. So if I go ahead and, for instance, click on the Adobe folder, you can see it begins to expand out. And the far right button in the views area gives a very interesting look and feel. So if I click on Alfred as an example, you can see it's almost like a carousel moving from app to app to app. At this point, I'm going to put the right side of my Finder window back into the icon view. And I want to draw your attention to the button that looks like a gear. If I click on this, I can create a new folder, which is a key when it comes to using Finder. You can create folders to help you better organize your files and resources. I can open things up from this area. I can move it to the trash. I can get info about the actual file. I can duplicate it. I can do a variety of things from this area. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and close this area and draw your attention to the button directly to the right of the gear button. It looks like a box. That's because this is a Dropbox button. The reason this button pops up is because I have Dropbox installed on my Mac. You may not have Dropbox installed, but if you did, this allows you to open up the Dropbox folder. Now going further to the right, I can change the arrangement. I can change it by name, by application category, by last opened, date added, so on and so forth. So if I go ahead and go by date last opened, you can see it shows the last time I had these apps opened up. I'm going to change it back to name for an alphabetical listing of your files, applications, or what have you. Directly to the right of that button, you'll see an arrow that looks like it's jumping out of a box. This is your Share Selected Items button, or sometimes called your Send To button. If I click on this, I can send files, applications, whatnot via email, messages, or via AirDrop. I will discuss AirDrop in a future video. Finally, the button to the far right of this section allows me to tag certain files. Now currently you can see it's grayed out. That's because I'm in the applications folder. But if I move over to the movie folder as an example and go ahead and select a file, I can now add a tag to it by clicking on this button. And so for instance, if I wanted to make this blue, it gives the tag the color blue. So you're asking yourself, well, why is that important? Well, first off, you can see there's a little blue circle next to my file. And so now if I go ahead and go over to the sidebar area and go to the tags area and select blue, it will show every file that I have tagged with the color blue, which is another way to organize your files and to be able to find them quickly. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Applications folder. And I want to draw your attention to another very important area of Finder, and that's the search field. So if there's a particular app or file I want to find fast, I can just go ahead and type in a word such as resume, and you will find everything I have on this Mac that has the word resume in it. And I can go ahead and further alter my search by searching for this Mac or applications as an example. The reason applications is popping up in this case is because I started off in the applications folder. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and close this search by clicking on the X in the search field. Now before I close this video, there are two more things I want to show you. First and foremost is that Mavericks allowed us to have tabs in the Finder window. Right now mine says Applications, but if you look to the far right of that, you'll see a plus button. If I click on this, that will allow me to open up a brand new tab. And just like with Safari, I can go ahead and click back and forth on these tabs. And when I'm done viewing a tab, you'll notice that there's an X. If I click on the X, the tab is gone. And finally, if you look at the very bottom of the Finder window, right now mine says Macintosh HD Applications. This gives you the current path that you're in, which can be very important when trying to find out where a specific file is located. If you want to go ahead and turn off the path or turn it on, you would find that in the Finder menu under View, and you can see you have the option to hide path bar, which I'll do at this point, which is gone. But if I want to go ahead and turn it back on, I can go to View and Show Path Bar. So in this video, I demonstrated a few of the things that you can do with the Finder app. This app is very, very important for any Mac user.